My name is Kayla Williams, and I am project coordinator here at JER HR Group. And I'm the moderator for today's webinar, which is Job Descriptions Made Easy. And that's going to be presented by two great people that I've been able to get to know this week, Mr. Bruce Johanson and Mr. Cliff Sandsmark. Cliff, did I say your last name right?
Absolutely. Good job.
Awesome. I was hoping that I wouldn't butcher it. So that's a win for my day. So, so we're going to get started here. I'm going to let these fine gentlemen take over. If you have any questions at all, please put them in the Q&A. Some of your questions, don't worry if they're not answered right away. We are saving time at the end of this presentation for them to answer all of your questions. You should see on your bar right now, I have everyone muted. If you have any questions about that, you can also put that in there. And here we go. Take it away, guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Kayla. Welcome, everyone, to this webinar and demo titled Job Descriptions Made Easy using the JobBldr software program. As you mentioned, we are going to record this session for future reference and use. I'm Bruce Johanson, and also, as she introduced, Cliff Sandsmark with us. We have left some time at the end for question and answer, so save those to the end, and we'll go ahead and get started. As you can see in this next slide, what we wanted to do was give you a good understanding of the two companies that make up the JobBldr software program. In this slide here, you'll see that the JER is a leading provider of compensation analysis, HR consultation, and organization development, serving the North America market. And some of the metrics that you see there is we've been doing 35 years of consulting experience, over 1,000 projects per year, working on various aspects of HR, 20 plus years of experience per consultant, and 40 plus consultants. So JER HR Group is a large HR software and support type group. Over on the right-hand side is Trainery One. It's a SaaS technology provider with integrated suite of learning and human capital management solutions that provide better solutions for global challenges of today's hybrid workplace. And as you can see in the metrics there in the slide, Trainery has over 5,000 plus courses, 7 software solutions, 50,000 plus users, and 300 plus clients. So the two of them are really tackling the talent management sector for both public, private, nonprofit, government organizations around the country. As mentioned, Kayla, I'm Bruce Johanson. As you can see on the left there, I've been working in the human resource field since 1979. And over the last 25 years, concentration has been in compensation expertise and software products. Cliff, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Bruce. My name is Cliff Sandsmark. I'm a senior consultant with the JER HR Group. I've been in compensation and HR for over 30 years, experience helping organizations to structure compensation plans, job benchmarking evaluation, market-based studies. I'm a contributor to the development of JobBldr, as well as a frequent contributing author for HR Professionals magazine, a fine magazine with some good articles. If you get a chance to get on their website, I'm going to put a little plug in for them. Thank me later. Thank you, Bruce.
You bet. Thank you, Cliff. So what we're going to do today, you'll see, we're going to be very light on slides and rich on demo. You're going to see we're doing a JobBldr intro and a quick overview of CompBldr, because CompBldr is kind of the bigger piece of the pie, and JobBldr fits within CompBldr. And then we're going to look at the demo, and then Cliff is going to take us through the 10 best practice tips when creating a job description. And then, as we mentioned earlier, we'll do a Q&A, and then after that, there'll be some contact information for you to have. So let's move into the JobBldr. And what you'll see here with CompBldr is a module software that helps you easily create job descriptions, comparative analysis, fair and transparent pay structures. So when you're trying to create a competitive and equitable pay structure for your organization, we've created 5 components, and you'll see there in the diagram: Job Builder, Market Builder, Grade Builder, Plan Builder, and Equity Builder. And just to give you a little bit of about information about each of those, what we're going to be demoing is the Job Builder that you see there at the top of the diagram. And Job Builder is going to be creating the job descriptions for your organization. From there, you'll see Grade Builder. That's the classification piece, or building grades, pay grades, using a classification program. Then from there, we go to Market Builder, and Market Builder is being able to go out into the market and pull market data and have that to see where we are to market. Once you have all that information, in a way, you kind of go, well, okay, so what? What are we doing? Well, Plan Builder is the ability to do forecasting and create plan scenarios as far as implementation based on our jobs, based on our classification of jobs, the market data. So it kind of pulls it all together and says, okay, how are we going to implement our new structure, and what's that going to look like? Equity Builder is a piece where you're trying to look at equity both from an internal, external standpoint. So these 5 modules all make up Comp Builder that you see. And so as it's mentioned there, it's a multi-module software program. Today's demo is going to be on Job Builder. So let's talk about Job Builder. As you can see here, Job Builder is providing a flexible, structured, and convenient way to create, manage, and store job descriptions. In the library right now, we have over 9,500. It says 10,000. We'll be here at 10,000 plus pretty soon, but 9,511 job titles are in the most current program. So very, as you can see, robust ability to use those, or you can also start from scratch. You see the second bullet, you can select, drag, and drop content section you need. You can customize and also create your own template. And in the demo, I'll take you through that to where you can see those features, as well as you'll be able to collaborate with managers, HR, compensation, other subject matter experts. And that collaboration is important because a lot of times maybe HR doesn't know a job, so it's better to be able to send a template or send the questionnaire to a manager or subject matter expert and have them fill it out. So that saves HR some time. Also, you'll see that there's some security information view and data access. As well, you can see a side-by-side view to analyze comparable jobs and competencies.
Now, I know a lot of you out there are HR professionals, and every HR professional I meet loves to do job descriptions. I know that's their favorite activity, but for the rest of us who don't, we have Job Builder. So, but job descriptions are very important. They are far more critical than you might think. They're used, in terms of talent acquisition, talent development, FLSA compliance, ADA compliance, workers' comp return to work. And you also develop job postings, helping to do interviews, etc. So here with Job Builder, excuse me, with Job Builder, you're able to synchronize job content, quickly develop job descriptions, and improve transparency, and help drive employee engagement. Next slide. So just some statistics. HR professionals who prefer Job Builder over current method, we peg them at 97%. Years of experience, compensation experience, 35 plus. Also, improvement in legal compliance, we had a total of about 88% improvement in that area. So,
What we're going to do now is we're going to shift gears and go into the software program. So you're going to see in this opening screen, you'll see Comp Builder up there at the top left. And so we're going to be building, as we're building out Comp Builder with the 5 different modules, you'll see the Job Builder is listed here in the left. And so that's going to be the component to build the job descriptions. Now, in this opening we have the dashboard. And the reason why we did the dashboard is to give you a quick summary of how many titles you have in the program that you're working with. So you'll see here 39 that are unlocked. And what that means is they're able to be sent to someone for them to work with. 17 locked means that that keeps someone from going in and making changes without being authorized. And then 15 is inactive. Those are positions that have been created but are not active. You can bring those back in. You can restore them and make them active, or you can take an active position that's not active anymore and move it to inactive. So you have some flexibility there. Collaborators is internal, external. Internal would be your internal collaborators. External would be where that'd be outside your user group, but you're sending it to someone outside your user group. Latest titles, that's just showing you which titles that you've are starting to work on or have brought in or created. And then job families, this just shows you that so far of the active positions, 12 have been classified in a job family. And I'll show you under settings where you
Hey,
can
Bruce.
create. Yes.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I was trying to see if this was an issue on my end, but you're still sharing the PowerPoint, not your screen.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
No, that's okay. Try it again. Let's see.
Let's see. Hang on just a second.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. In the meantime, thank you for those who pointed it out in the Q&A. There we are. Now we can see it.
Okay, great. Oh, excellent. So, sorry about that. So, as I was mentioning earlier, this gives you the Comp Builder slide. This is the opening, the landing page for JobBldr. And as I was mentioning, we're going to look at these headings up here. And so I'm on the dashboard screen. And what you'll see there is the titles, collaborators, latest title, job family, and titles in collaborator. And so the titles is just showing you which ones are active, inactive, and which ones are locked and unlocked. And as I was mentioning earlier, unlocked means it's those positions that you can send to someone and have them review. Locked means it's been locked and that way someone can't go in and make changes to it. And then the 15 inactive are ones that were created but not active. And so you'll be able to take an active position, make it inactive, or take an inactive and restore it and make it active again. Collaborators is the 17 there. You have 22 collaborators, 17 are internal, and then 5 are external. And then the latest job titles, you'll see 5 there. That's just going to take your top 5 that have been either been worked on or that you've created. The job family, it just shows that of the active positions, 12 have been classified for each of those in the job families. And under settings, I'll show you how you can create additional job families. And then titles in collaboration. This just shows you how many the positions or who's been sent. So 30 of them been sent out and have been completed. One's been sent out and it's pending. It means it's been opened or it's out there for someone to work on. And then 43 means they've been sent and the deadline has been passed for them to complete it. So we created a kind of a dashboard for you to, as a quick reference. Now from there, we're going to move to master library. In the master library, you're going to see up here in the, there's 1651. This is a test module right here. And so, as I mentioned earlier, right, in CompBldr, there's 9,511 titles. So we're on our way to get to 10,000 plus that will be in the master library. So when you pick up JobBldr, you'll have almost 10,000 positions that you'll be able to work with. And you'll be able to search right here. You can search and look for a position since there'll be several in there. You can also see job title, the job group, the template, and the job description. So a brief here. If you wanted to, you can come over under action, and what action does, it gives you what's in there in that position. So you'll see the introductory information, the general description, the essential duties, qualifications. So this gives you a quick rundown or preview of what's in there. At this stage, if you said, hey, I want to take this to my library, which is titles up here, you can add that to your library by pushing it there. You can also, if we go back to the master library, you can bring it with a plus sign there, and you can hit confirm and bring it to your library or title from the master. So you can quickly bring positions out of the master library into titles, which is where you'll be spending most of your work there. All right, so that's the master, and then again, this gives you a good understanding. With a lot in there, you'll be able to, if I wanted to, I can put human resources or start to put human, and so it'll quickly bring up any positions that has human word in it by title or job group or in the description. So it quickly can move around and show you what's in the master library. Now from there, I'm going to move to the template manager. And the reason why I'm bringing you to there before we go to titles is in JobBldr and in other types of job description software is pretty static a lot of times with what you can use to build out a job description. So in Template Master, what this is allowing you to do is use some pre-established templates, or you can come up here and click Add New, and you can create your own template and then hit Save, and then it will be listed here. So let's go to My Template here. I'm going to click on My Template down here, and then we're going to hit the Edit. And what this is going to show you is in my current template, this gives you an understanding of the different sections that are listed right here. Now, if I wanted to, I could go to another template, and let's say I pick up, let's say this regional airport. Well, the reason why we're adding this ability to create your own template is some organizations want more of a robust job description. Some maybe just want it to do job posting. So what we're doing in this JobBldr is giving you the ability to use either a pre-established one or you can create your own. So that's that gives you a lot more flexibility for you to be able to do that. And then if I wanted to, let's say I don't have qualifications, you'll see on my side here, I don't have qualifications, but in this template, I can click over here and say, okay, qualification. So what this does, this kind of shows you the different sections, and then you can decide whether you want to bring them or add them. So if I wanted to add qualification, I just click here and it brings it. So you can quickly add or subtract off a template with the template master that you see here. And so this is a great feature that's part of JobBldr that you see here. Now, if we go to settings, what you'll see settings, there's two things in settings. There's job family. So here's the 12 job families that we saw earlier that were created, and so you can select a job family for each position. You can also add a family if you wanted to. So you could come in here and say, hey, I want to add, let's say, quality control. And then you can also provide description for it, and then just hit save, and it'll add a family. So you can add or subtract here, and you can also edit what's in there, like if you wanted to put a descriptor there. And then this will also show you here how many titles are in the job description in your titles that are in each of these categories. And then it also gives you the created and when was updated. The other thing you can do is you can load your logo. You can upload your logo in the description by putting it, you can upload it here. And what that does, that allows you to then be able to put it as a part of your job description if you want. So under settings, you have a couple options. You can manage your job families as well as you can do your logo. Now let's move over to titles. And titles is where you're going to spend really most of your time. Titles and collaboration, these two buckets up here. And if we look at titles, you're going to see here your titles, your job code, job group, job family, your template, locked by, and this is what we were talking about earlier, where locked, it just shows you who locked it. And if you want to unlock it, you have the ability to what we call release it. And that way it allows you to send it to someone for them to work on. So that's why we have the locked and unlocked. So red is the locked and the green is unlocked. And also, if you look over here, you'll see duplicate. The reason why we put that there is, let's say we wanted to create a senior operations director, but we didn't want to start from scratch. We wanted to create a senior operations. So you could hit that duplicate there. And what that does, it'll duplicate it and you can retitle it to senior operations director. It'll add it to your title here. And then you can go in and adjust the different components within the description to create that senior operations director. So a great feature to do for career laddering. This here is your summary. And when you click on that, what this is going to do, it's going to bring up the title and it's going to bring you kind of the title page. It's going to tell you the title, job family, job code, the grade. It's going to show there's different versions. And so that's another feature with JobBldr. A lot of times there's not a tracking mechanism. And so with JobBldr, we've created the ability to create different versions. So there you can see there's the 1.1, 1.2, or 1.1, 1.2. So anytime there's a change, it will create a new version. So you'll be able to see the older ones as well as anything new each time that has created it. So that's under the summary. Under the preview, what this does is this shows you that position, and then it also shows you all of the information that you have created or it's come over from the library for this position. So you can see the different buckets of information down through here. So in this case, I picked the standard template. And so as you can see, it's very robust. It has quite a bit of information in there all the way down, and then it shows you additional information, when it was created and last modified. So the preview gives you that information, as well as you can hit the download, and you can download a PDF, a Word document, you can email it. So this gives you your ability to take it out of the system and move it on to either to your server or send it to someone. So that's where you have your ability to take it from the system and move it outside. That's the preview. Let's just say here on custom. So this is where you would spend your time. So what you're going to see is here's your template, the standard, and here are your different sections for the job description. So we're in the general section. There's duties. And with duties, you can edit, you can add, you can take it away, and you can create as many duties as you want. And then you'll see here physical responsibilities, and then supervision, education, and you're going to see some different radio buttons there and then you're hit the save button as you go. Then you're going to see work skills, certificates, license, registrations, contact with the public, contact with employees. So that what this is doing is it's mostly radio buttons. Once you get past general duties and the duties, you're hitting radio buttons mainly from here. So it gives you a definition, and then you're picking out the level from what we'd call entry level all the way to top level. And in this example, the non-IT is the first few radio buttons, and then your last ones are IT related. So you're just working through each of your sections and then filling out the appropriate levels for job, basically for the job builder. Work environment is going to cover in your ADA. And so you'll see here, if I click on here, you have never, occasional, frequent, regular, continuous. And so you're thinking about the position, in this case, the operations director, and then you're figuring out what the level of activity would be for each of the categories that you see there. And so again, you're just working down through it, and then you hit your save button. Now, the thing about it is these are all green because they've been worked on. Now I'm going to show you a position here that's a new position I brought over, but I didn't spend any time on it. And these are all going to be orange, meaning they've not been done. Once you hit your save button, that turns it to green. The great thing about that is that gives you a real quick understanding what I have left to work on or what's been completed. Now, if you send it to someone, they're going to be able to go in and be able to work or change what's already here. Then you'll see physical demands. So work environment and physical demands is your ADA. Additional information, you can put competencies here. Anything that's a square box, you can cut and paste from your Word into these buckets here, and then hit your save. And then internal notes, you can put some additional notes here that don't show up in the description. Reminder, what that does is, let's say I want to remind myself to look at a job a year from now, or 6 months or a month from now, then you can put that, you prepare by the preparation date, approved, and approval date, and then you hit your save button. So you're just working down through the various templates that you see here. Also, this release button, this is where when you release it, if you're going to release it to send someone, then you would hit confirm. It releases it, and then you're able to then send it on to whoever you want to send it on. Or if there's another user, you can release it, and that way someone else in the system can work with it. So that's where you're going to spend most of your time building out your description. Under comparison, what this is a great feature in that on the right-hand side, it's going to show you your latest version. If you wanted to compare it, let's say we were trying to compare it with another similar position in the system, you can pull up that other position in the system, and you can do a side-by-side, and you can bring back and forth. So if this is your position you're working on, then if there was something over here in another position that you wanted to bring over, you have that ability to bring that information. So this gives you the ability, let's say I had an operations director, and then I had maybe an operations manager, or maybe I had a VP of operations. Then it gives you the ability to contrast or compare two positions with each other and kind of work through that edit. And so that just takes you through the different sections that you see there. So that's a great feature with the comparison. With the collaborator,
Really
yes.
quick, Bruce. Sorry. There's just a relevant question to the right now. And so I wanted to ask it since you're right here in the system. An attendee wanted to know if you're able to revert descriptions back to previous versions.
Yeah, that's a great, so if we go back and look at the, let's go back here at the summary, and what you can see here is these are all going to be listed here. And so you'll have access to each of them because they're all listed. And so you'll be able to look at each version. So you'll still have your most current one as well as your previous ones. So they're all going to be in that position. And so you do have that ability to work with the original one and or the latest one in the system. Kayla, does that answer the question?
Yes, I believe it does. Thank you so much, Bruce.
You bet. So let's go over here to collaborators. The reason why we have this is where you are able to, let's say I wanted to send the operations director to someone. So what I can do is I can come down here and let's say, okay, I'm just going to send it to myself. And then I'm going to pick a deadline date, let's say a week out. And you'll see here, I can assign it. Now you'll see here, it says you have not released so please do so. I'm going to hit release and I'm going to hit confirm. So now I've done that. So now I can hit assign, and what it's doing is it's sending that position out to the collaborator. So what you'll see there, and then under version, this just shows you the listing of the different 4 versions that you can see here. And so the one that I just sent out, there's the 1.3. That's the one now that's gone out for review. So there's your original. So every time a new one or change has been that's occurred, then it's going to capture that and show you that. So that gives you kind of a good audit trail and a neat feature for you to have. Also, with the collaborators, let me come back up here under collaborators. So this shows you your titles, your job families, your job group. And what this one does is just shows you if there's a 1, that just shows you that there's one time. What this does, this shows you who your 2 collaborators that have worked on that position. So this keeps a record of what's been sent out and how many times it's in that you've sent it to, the last modified and the status that you can see there. Okay. So that's what you'll see there for that. And also you can add a collaborator to the list by just hitting add, first name, last name, email, and position. So you can add, and also you can take away or drop someone out. And you can also modify an existing, if there's a name change or email change. So that gives you your collaborators there. So your status is your report, and then your collaborators is where you can add and subtract individuals to your collaborator list. Now let's go back to titles. One of the things I want to show you is under the Director of Talent. I added that position a couple of days ago. And what I want to show you under the title is there's the title, there's the preview. And what you'll see here under preview, there's not a lot of information. There's some information there. But if you come to customize, this is what I was saying earlier, is when you're working with a new position, this will kind of give you a good understanding in the different sections, what's been completed and what hasn't. So when it's orange like this, it just shows that it hasn't. Now, if we did some work in here and then hit the save button, then it's going to give you a success update, even though we didn't put anything in there. But it's going to, once you do that, then it's going to take it from the orange exclamation to the green check mark. So this gives you a good way to understand if you've left a position and you come back to it, you'll be able to see what's been worked on and what hasn't been worked on. So I wanted you to be able to see that. Again, this is where you're going to be spending most of your time is in titles, and then also in collaboration where you're sending it out for that. And then one other thing here, you can see you can delete. If you delete a position, what that actually does is it actually doesn't delete it. It takes it to inactive. So inactive, if I click up here and hit inactive, this is the position where we saw in the dashboard, the inactive. So if we take a position that was active and it's not being used anymore, back over in the active, you can hit the delete, and it will take it over to inactive. And then if you hit see inactive under here, under the mark, you can then confirm that you want to take it out of inactive to active. So this gives you the ability to move job descriptions or titles from inactive to active or active to inactive, which is a great feature that you can see there. Okay, so dashboard is just giving you kind of a quick understanding of what's there. Titles, that's going to be your screen where you're spending most of your time either doing your work. Once you click on a title, again, if I click on a title, and then hit the summary. Then this is your different buckets working on the position. Preview, customize, that's where you're working. Comparisons, where you compare up two positions. Collaborator is where you send it out, and then there are different versions. So that's what you're going to see for each when you're working with a position. And then collaboration, the master library, which is where you're going to find. Now, what you'll see here under master, you can quickly add. But one of the things is, let's say that there's not a position in the master that you like, and it's unique, and you want to start from scratch. Well, under titles, what you do there is you just hit add new, and let's just say we want to hit accounting specialist. And then template here, again, this is if you've created your own template or you want to pick one that's pre-established, this is where you're going to pick your template. So standard is kind of the one that's got most of the sections in it. Some of these other templates don't have as many listed. And then you're also, if you create your own template, it will be listed here. Like you can see, I have my template down there at the bottom. But let's just say I'm going to hit standard and then hit save. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring the new one that you brought right up here at the top. And then what you would do is if it's new, now you're starting from scratch, you're going to hit there, and then you would go to preview, and you're going to see just a boilerplate there. You're going to go to customize, and then you're going to build it out. Now, let's say you don't know anything about that position, then you can then go to collaborator, and you can send that position to the accounting director or whoever in accounting, or the person, employee, whoever you're going to send it to. So that's how you could take a new position, create the title, and then send it off to someone to create. So with that just kind of gives you a good overview of the JobBldr software. And with that, I'm going to go back. We'll stop the sharing, and then we're going to go back, and we're going to go back to the slideshow. And then with that, Cliff is going to talk about the 10 best tips for creating job descriptions.
Thank you, Bruce. Yes, as an additional feature for this webinar, we'll give you some tips on how to create and make sure your job descriptions are legal and compliant. So one of the things I always talk about is when you do a job description, roles tend to develop around people. But when they do a job description, they just kind of just base it on the person that's currently in the job. So keep it about the job, not the person. Or ask yourself, what would it take if you had to replace this person? What are the minimum requirements you would need to do that? And that's how you build your job description. Collaborate with key stakeholders. You need to be sure that you've got their buy-in and support to make sure that your project is successful. You'd be surprised how many times I did a thorough job analysis and made job descriptions and walk into the manager, and the manager says, "That's not what my people do. They do this, this, this." And usually after that, I tell them, well, you kind of need to get out of the office a little bit more and see what your people are doing. Do some management by wandering around, as I used to say in the 90s. And kind of get a feel for what's going on your floor. But always collaborate with key stakeholders and make sure you got their support and their blessing. It's always best to do a thorough job analysis. I would always suggest you start from scratch. You gather basic information, and you could do it through maybe do some interviews, observation, do it through questionnaires or focus groups. But that'll give you information, make sure your job description is good and thorough and actually reflects the job. Always start your essential functions with an action verb. Action verbs such like develops, manages a process, prepares a summary, administers a team, or analyzes data using current software. But always use an action verb when you're starting your essential functions. Now, in terms of the position summary, which comes before the essential functions, I suggest it's a good trip to write that after you write your essential functions, because once you list your essential functions, this position summary becomes really easy to write. So think of the position summary as your elevator speech, 3 sentences max. So you're in somebody asks you what you do, you're in an elevator. By the time you get started to get to your floor, they should have a basic understanding of kind of what the job does. So I've seen them go on and on for about a page, but 3 sentences, good summary, and but it helps to write it after you do all your essential functions. Keep in mind ADA reasonable accommodation needs, your compliance there. I see a lot of this like in lifting requirements, whether someone has restrictions, but when you write it, they say it must read 50 pounds. Also indicate whether that's with or without assistance, because if you get somebody that comes in with a restriction, if it's a sole requirement that they lift 50 pounds on a regular basis, you can't make a reasonable accommodation. But if you say must lift 50 pounds with assistance, then you basically have a case for a reasonable accommodation in your compliance with the person. Skill requirements are for those skills they will need the first day on the job, not what they will learn on the job. So let's say you needed a skill like Excel. Really, the position requires a middle, a median kind of skill level on that, but you're going to train them to do that once they're in the door. Make sure you got the basic minimums for that Excel skill, because you're going to train them anyway. So just make sure you just list what you need on the first day of the job. Look out for requirements that may create adverse impact. Education requirements are a good example of this. And ask yourself this question: does the backhoe operator really need a high school diploma? Some people just put that in with every position, but if you're working with an applicant pool and maybe a majority of protected minorities don't have high school diplomas, but they're fully qualified for the job, but you exclude them because of that, you might have some problem with what's called adverse impact. So be aware of that when you do your requirements. Integrate with talent management and talent development, because the next step once you work with those 2 groups is they're actually building competencies. Job descriptions are living documents. Be sure you review them frequently. Every 2 to 3 years is fine, and make sure you archive past versions in case you need those for some litigation or some background on the job. Now, those are 10, but I'm going to give you a bonus one. So how do you write your essential functions? Because essential functions are basically defined by the ADA as unique to that job. Only a few people can possibly do it. And if you take it away, the job does not exist. So here, let's give you an example of a format to use. Use what to do, how to do, and why to do. So again, what it is you're doing with the job, how do you do it, and why are you doing it? So again, here's an example. Update company job descriptions using JobBldr software to ensure they are current and in compliance with state and federal laws. So the what to do is update company job descriptions, how to do it using JobBldr software, why to do it to ensure they are current and in compliance with state and federal laws. So, and that's it.
Yeah, and so JobBldr, in a way, meets these 10 best practices. So by picking up JobBldr, it can help you have great jobs and keep you in compliance. And also in JobBldr, and number 10, that review frequently. That was one of the things that you saw on the screen, where you can say, I want to review this position a year from now, or 6 months from now, or as Cliff says, 2 to 3 years from now. It gives you the ability to send you a reminder, say 6 months from now, if you put that down. So these are great practice tips for creating the job description. So we're moving to the close of our time, but we wanted to leave some time for question and answer, and so this is your time to ask whatever questions that you have of us.
This is perfect because we have had some questions rolling in. So
Great.
I'm just gonna kind of go down the list here. So the first question is, does this system have positions specifically to nonprofits?
Excellent question. The 9,500 job descriptions were built off of various sectors, including nonprofit, government, private, public. So it's a hodgepodge. So lots of different variety of positions. So it will meet a variety of organizations.
Okay, perfect. The next question, where are the job titles taken from? And does the job builder for both profit and for nonprofit companies? Which you just answered that one. So I guess the question there is, where are the job titles taken from?
Over the years, we have created thousands and thousands of descriptions. And so they're coming from our bank of descriptions that have been developed over the last 30 years.
Perfect. Let's see. And we answered the question about reverting to previous versions. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, can you mass download job descriptions, or is this a one-on-one basis?
Great question. In this test sample that I showed you, you couldn't upload in the CompBldr, the latest version and the versions that our users will be licensing or subscribing to. You will have the ability to upload a Word or PDF and load that into the system, as well as being able to fill out the way you saw it. So it will have the ability to upload.
Okay. Now, I think this one was talking about downloading them. So I guess whenever maybe they're asking about whenever you're downloading them from the system. So I guess maybe if you create multiple job postings, do you have to download them one by one, or can you just create multiple and then like download them all?
Yeah, right now it's one at a time,
Okay.
but that is a feature that to where we can create a bulk download, but right now it'd be one at a time.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. And then you kind of touched on this, but just to clarify, can you import data from existing job descriptions, or does it have to be typed directly into the program?
Yeah, you can import in, you can cut and paste, into it, as well as you'll be able to upload a position and then work off of that.
Perfect. Next question. Is the job description template customizable, or is it a fixed template? And they're not talking about the job description itself. They're talking about the look and the feel of it. So like putting their logo on, things like that.
Yeah, good question. That's what the template manager is all about. You'll be able to go in and either work with a pre-existing template and or create your own template. And that way, that gives you the ability to have a small of a job description with maybe just essential duties and qualifications. One of the big reasons why we put the template in there is we realize that different organizations have different needs for job descriptions. And so the template master allows you to have a lot of flexibility with how it looks and what you want to include in a job description.
Perfect. Let's see. Will our current DB comp data be rolled into JobBldr?
Yeah, the software will be able to migrate current information into the new software.
Perfect. Let's see. And then someone did ask about the job grades section. They said they logged in a few minutes late. So did you touch on that a lot, or it was mainly focused on the JobBldr, right?
Yeah, this is just the
Yeah.
JobBldr module. The grade builder is going to be the part in CompBldr that would be after you've done your job description, then the job classification or grade builder would be the ability to score the job, which is the second module that you would be going through with the CompBldr program.
Perfect. let's see. How does JobBldr improve legal compliance, and what are the potential legal challenges using it?
Yeah, Cliff, you want to answer that one?
That is the reason why we have the archive feature in there, because a lot of times in my experience, there was incidents to where employees were, in the process of litigation against the company. So they had to research back into a previous job description that was maybe written 2, 3 years ago, that has changed, been updated. So that having that archive feature is going to be really helpful in terms of being in compliance or answering some kind of litigation. But it's still up to the user to be sure that their facts are straight when it comes to FLSA and ADA. But it'll make sure that that information is captured and kept on file for you.
Yeah, and in addition, our template, that standard template, we try to keep that one current with new legislation. So, for example, several years ago, as different states allow medical or recreational marijuana, you'll see the safety sensitive that was added to the job description, where if a position has to be safety sensitive, that is the work that they do requires the ability not to be under the influence. That's why the safety. We also just recently added security sensitive, non-security sensitive for the security of data. That could be IT data or other sensitive data like medical records. And so, as you can see, we add things to the template as legislation or other aspects from a compliance standpoint come out. So we're trying to keep that template current to meet your compliance needs.
Perfect. On the versions of documents, or anywhere really, does it specify what was changed on the description, or just that someone made changes?
Yeah, right now it just shows who the changes. Now you would open it up and you could see them, but right now it does not track. One of the features going forward would be to be able to have that, be able to show that. Right now you'll be able to see it, but you'd have to go in and look for it. In the future, we would want to be able to have that tracking mechanism further fine-tuned, where you would highlight and show those changes.
Perfect. All right. And then last question is, does this system integrate with Workday or other ERPs?
Yeah, right now at this time you can download, and you can either download in a PDF or Word. Over time, we're going to have in CompBldr, the desire for CompBldr with the different modules is to be able to integrate with Workday, PayScale, or other HRS systems by going through kind of an AWS type of integration, to where no matter what system you're on, it has that ability to adapt to whatever HRS or payroll system that you're using.
Perfect. And we had another question roll in, but this actually wraps things up perfectly, because someone wanted to know, what are the next steps if they want to pursue this software?
Cliff, go for it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
No,
That's
you
okay.
can go ahead and contact me directly, either by email or by phone, and we go ahead and talk some more about your needs and get you started.
Perfect. And his contact information is right there on the screen, guys. That's Cliff Sandsmark. And you're going to get a copy of this recording within the next few days in your email. So keep watch on that, especially if you had to miss a little bit at the beginning. I think we had another 15, 20 people roll in after the first 10 minutes. So guys, if you missed anything, it'll be on that recording. And I appreciate everyone who came today. If you have any more questions, Cliff's email is right there on the screen. Feel free to shoot him an email. You can also respond to the webinar invitation that was sent out, and that's going to be sent directly to me, and I can get you to Cliff or to Bruce, whoever needs to take care of you. So thanks again, everyone. And thank you to Bruce and Cliff for a wonderful presentation. This was, I swear, I'm telling you, every webinar, I learned something new, and we're always updating and upgrading our technology here. So it is wonderful to see what this is and how it has grown. So thank you guys again for presenting, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.